Hello YouTubers, Doctor Who fans and DVD collectors, and welcome to another Doctor Who DVD review. This time I shall be taking a look at the 1976 Tom Baker story, The Deadly Assassin. Now this story was a milestone in Doctor Who history, as it was the only story in the classic series to not feature a companion for the Doctor, and it also notably referenced the amount of lives a Time Lord has as well, and the amount of regenerations. Notably, it also has Tom Baker in a Time Lord costume, which is very good. And there are many Time Lords in the story, and subsequent stories like The Invasion of Time, Arc of Infinity, The Five Doctors, The Trial of a Time Lord, they all follow this, like, in a way, because the Time Lords in this story are represented as like a council, like a parliament, or something like that, whereas in previous stories, like in the Third Doctor era and the War Games, they were just seen as lords of time who just sent the Doctor on various different missions, most of them to stop the Master. And as you can see, this also features the decayed form of the Master as well. So on the cover, as I said, we've got Tom Baker on here, obviously, and he's in his Time Lord clothing. We've also got this thing here, which is the Eye of Harmony. We've got the Master, as played by Peter Pratt, and I don't know, you may be able to see, or you may not be able to see, it depends how good your eyesight is, but there are many Time Lords in the background of this as well, which is very good. And this cover also has the seal of Rassilon as well, which is very good. I really like the seal of Rassilon. I think it's really cool. It's one of the best logos ever, up there with like Yin Yang and things like that. And we've got this triangle here, which is the triangle which is part of like the visor of the gun, what Tom Baker uses during this story. And everything else is pretty much the same. You've got BBC DVD at the top. You've got the normal John Pertwee slash Paul McGann logo for the classic series, known now as just the generic classic series logo. And it just says at the bottom, in green, Tom Baker years 1974 to 81. And it's a PG. And let's have a look at the spine. So very good. You can also see more Time Lords on the spine as well, and they're inside the citadel of Gallifrey. This story is by Robert Holmes, probably one of the best writers in Doctor Who history. And now I'll give you the synopsis of the story. Gallifrey, planet of the Time Lords. The Doctor has finally come home, but not by choice. Summoned by a vision from the Matrix, he is drawn into a web of political intrigue and assassination. Nothing is quite what it seems, and in the shadows lurks his oldest and deadliest enemy. Now, the special features in the story I think are really good. There's commentary by Tom Baker, Bernard Horsfall, who played Goth, Philip Hinchcliffe, who was the producer and showrunner at the time. The Matrix Revisited. This is when the cast and crew and critics look back at the making of the story, featuring director David Maloney, designer Roger Murray Leach, and the founder of the National Viewers and Listeners Association, Mary Whitehouse, who was very critic of this story. And I might get a lot of stick of this, but I thought that episode 3's cliffhanger was just epic the way it was, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I mean, young children watching this, of course they're meant to be scared by it. That's what Doctor Who is supposed to be like, in my opinion. Not all silly and stupid, like it has been a bit recently, like with the Van Valen brothers. But I won't go into that as I'm reviewing this really good story. The Gallifreyan Candidate. A look back at Richard Condon's novel, The Manchurian Candidate, a major influence on the plot of this story. The frighten factor. What exactly is Doctor Who's frighten factor? You know, this is what I'm talking about. We need more frightening things in Doctor Who. Hopefully Peter Capaldi will be a dark Doctor and it can go back to the dark days, make him dark and mysterious, a bit like William Hartnell or Sylvester McCoy, something like that. The frighten factor is a very good special feature in this story. I highly recommend it if you've got the story and you've not seen it already. A device panel of experts try to answer the question. Radio times, billings, listings of the story presented in PDF file, and there's many other things like photo gallery, coming soon, trailer, production, information, subtitles, Easter egg, and digitally remastered picture and sound quality. So that's all the special features of the story. It was originally broadcast between 30th of October and 20th of November 1976. It's produced by Philip Hinchcliffe and directed by David Maloney. And the runtime of this particular Doctor Who story is, and I can't even read this myself, 94 minutes approximately. So, very good. It's really good watching this in one go, in my opinion. I find it better watching this particular story in one go, as others, I think I just watch one part, then take a break, then watch another part, take a break, etc. Inside, we've just got the usual notes about the story, which are one of my favourite things about these DVDs. I think to entertain, and BBC Worldwide, whoever make these DVDs, I think they really do a good job, and I think they're just really good, and possibly one of the best DVD ranges out there. Obviously the best Doctor Who DVD range. Overall, The Deadly Assassin is a great Doctor Who story. It was one of the first ever Doctor Who stories I ever bought on DVD. Back in, it was released in 2009. I got mine in 2011. So, really good. Big fan of this story. As I know, a lot of people are also a fan of this story, and if you've not seen it, then I would recommend you pick it up, because it is one of my favourite stories, and hopefully you'll like it, and hopefully this review has been informative. Most people like it, so you should like it. So thank you very much for watching this DVD review of the 1976 Tom Baker story, The Deadly Assassin. Join me for my next DVD review, as I shall be taking a look at the Sylvester McCoy story, The Greatest Show in the galaxy. And I'll see you next time.